Wednesday night, the car show with Adam Carolla is all new, and it can't miss as Adam and crew take a trip down memory lane in some good old muscle, and then take a look at the modern cars that bring the good old days back to life. It's the car show Wednesday night, 10 Eastern, only on Speed.
You see that Superbird there?
I did.
If there was ever built a car built for racing, it was those Dodge Daytonas and Superbirds.
Welcome back to Kentucky Speedway. A few guys made their way onto pit road. We've seen Todd Bodine on pit road numerous times. Let's get an update. We go down to Ray.
Well, let's start with Ron Hornaday. His Hollywood Casino Chevrolet was very, very loose. So Hornaday said we need to make a big adjustment. So as they came in to do that, Bruce Cook at the last second said, let's go with tires, guys. They did their 4 tires, and also Todd Bodine went with 4 tires down here. Now that was lap 80. We know they can't go the whole distance here without pitting one more time for fuel, but this may be a strategy move for both of these teams by getting their 4 tires now. Later, they've got options.
Well, Ray, the options are when they come down pit road, they just put fuel in. It's going to be a faster pit stop once they get in their fuel window, and maybe they catch a caution flag.
I like options, don't you?
Absolutely.
I tell you, one of the options I think is going away is the option of staying warm. It was 52 degrees when we started this race. Now it's down to 43 degrees. It is getting cold here. I shouldn't say getting. It was cold. It's getting colder.
It was cold when we started the day, and it's stayed cold.
Herbie, what's happening with Johnny Sauter?
Well, he's staying on the racetrack, even though he did not pit the last time as well. And his crew chief, Joe Shear, is telling him, obviously, to save some fuel. Now, Johnny Sauter is not happy with his truck. He made the comment on the radio right when the caution came out that this is the most ill-balanced truck we've had all year. Now, we know Johnny Sauter can be a little bit demonstrative on the radio, so Joe Shear is trying to tell Johnny, hey, we're not running that bad. We're one adjustment away from having a chance to run up front, but right now they're in save fuel mode is Johnny Sauter.
Now, he might be saving fuel. He can't make it to the end, but they're saving fuel to potentially make it on one more stop.
Yeah, Johnny Sauter last pitted on lap number 55. That would give him 95 laps to go. He's going to get a few caution flags, so I think he's easily in the window of making it on one more stop.
But he just wanted to grab some track position, get that thing up front, and see if Joe Shear is right. One adjustment away. If he's up front now, he makes that adjustment, and he can hold his ground now. Maybe he does have a shot to win this race.
Norm Benning gets the Aaron's lucky dog. Nelson Piquet Jr., Austin Dillon bring the field to the green flag.
How about Johnny jumps to the inside of Austin Dillon on this restart?
Again, Dillon not up to speed quickly on the restarts. He drops back to the 3rd spot now and have to battle Cole Witt in that fuel doctor number 60 for that position. He might drop back to 4th.
See, Nelson Piquet Jr. is going to fight back on the outside. Johnny's trying to side draft on him, the slowest momentum. Look at Piquet just drive by him on the outside. Held it wide open. Wow.
He did the same thing on that last restart. Gained big ground on our leaders. This time he takes the leader on the top.
It was 3 wide for second. Cole Witt. And that 60 makes his way up into the 2nd spot. Now battle for the 3rd position. Johnny Sauter trying to hang on to it, but Austin Dillon takes it away on the bottom of the racetrack.
You know, if I'm Austin, I'm a little bit concerned about these restarts. You get one of those babies late, and you don't get going any better than that, you're going to lose the race.
That looked like a transmission issue. Looked like he took off good, okay, in 2nd gear, Michael, but by the time they got up to top speed, he looked like he lost some momentum.
What about these couple of trucks here battling inside the top 5? Dakota Armstrong and David Starr.
David Starr trying to look to the inside. That number 81, Dakota Armstrong, in the 98. Teammate to Johnny Sauter.
Side by side for that 6th spot. Just outside the top 5. They got company down on the bottom.
Timothy Peters is going to get by David Starr.
I think he got by both of them.
I think he got by both. And Austin Dillon, no trouble. Is that Brendan?
Brendan Gaughan potentially. It looks like the 62. And sure enough, it is. The 62 have gone up against the wall. So a lot of smoke coming out of turn number 2. Caution comes out once again.
Up. Got it turned around.
We just completed lap number 86. That means 64 to go. I don't think anyone would be in their pit window if they came to pit road now.
Light
Still
contact
a big gamble.
outside wall, Brian. Tires are done though. Need 4. Need 4. What happened? Some bitch is loose, man, on early tires. It's not my style of short run race car. It's too loose for me even.
You heard Brendan say it's too loose on a short run. There's another look coming off turn number 2. I think he makes slight contact. There's a slight contact with that left rear quarter panel into the outside wall.
Looked like maybe Brendan didn't know he was that close to the outside wall and had the gas down,
trying to get it turned around.
Spun around the other direction and hit the outside wall.
Comes into view there already sideways.
Wasn't that cool? We heard right from the driver what happened. He said, this baby's loose now. Too loose for even me, Brendan said.
You notice how calm he was when he said, here comes PK down pit road.
Bringing Cole Witt with him.
James Busher decided not to make the move onto pit road. So Nelson Piquet Jr., Cole Witt, 2 trucks on their way down, as well as Todd Bodine once again. Let's go back to Ray Dunlap.
Well, a little interesting pit strategy here. Not quite sure what Jeff Hensley's thinking, but Nelson Piquet brings it to a stop here with his Qualcomm Chevrolet. They go to right side tires there. You see on the left side the Fuel Doctor and Red Bull Chevrolet also going right side. This will be a 4-tire stop for Piquet for sure. This should be their last set of tires. They get him on. He will go away. A little bit of a hang up for Cole Witt on the left rear, and other trucks down in the front of the field on pit road. We saw Todd Bodine back in for service one more time. And also there's Jennifer Jo Cobb in her Dodge.
You know, maybe a situation. There's Joey Coulter continuing to work on the damage to that truck. He gets the Aaron's lucky dog. Maybe a situation where they want to get their tires now, so all they need is just a little splash once they get in their pit window.
Yeah, we haven't seen the times fall off that much, so new tires won't be that big of an advantage. I think the track position, having your truck up front, will be more important than having new tires on it. I like that call, Phil.
Yeah, especially the guys talking about these cold temperatures with all this grip out here. Tires aren't as big an issue as they were here in July.
You can see Coulter, a lot of repairs to the front of that truck. Here comes Max Pappas out of the garage area after he tore the right side of that truck apart. He's number 9 there.
Yeah, he tore the whole right side off of that truck, so they had to replace that.
It's something still wrong with it. They didn't get it all fixed.
Yeah, that
Looks like it's the track bars broke on that thing. It looks like. See the rear end moving around.
Max says, oh no.
That is not the way it's supposed to feel and drive around this racetrack.
That would be about it.
Me doing my Italian accent.
You make us a lap, buddy.
So we're going to see Max Pappas make it back onto pit road.
Max makes 1 lap. He passes
Okay, just get her
Miguel
done.
Paludo. Maybe that's what this team's after. Just go get that 1
Guys,
spot.
we'll go to the trailer.
Yeah, just the 3 points. I'm sorry, 1 point. Used to be 3 for that position. Now it's 1.
Want to take a look at our Just for Men Live Forward. Next race for the trucks, the Smiths 350 from Las Vegas Motor Speedway, another 1.5-mile racetrack. Austin Dillon, last year's winner.
It's another 1.5-mile racetrack, but it races a lot different than this 1.5-mile racetrack.
You know, guys, we talk about 1.5-mile racetracks, and there's 10 of them on the circuit right now. 8 of the last 12 years, the guy that won the championship is outpointed his closest pursuer on the 1.5 miles. That's how important they are in this series.
Just for Men hair color, Live Forward.
I use that stuff, Rick.
And it looks good.
Thank you.
Let's get some updates from pit road. We go to Ray.
Well, Rick, quickly, I said I wasn't sure what Jeff Hensley's schedule was here. Well, guess what? If we get 5 or 6 more laps of caution, they may not even need to pit. So by coming in on that last round of pit stops there to put 4 tires on it, Nelson Piquet may not come back down pit road the rest of the night.
In front of the field, Austin Dillon, James Busher. Dillon on the outside, Busher on the inside. Green flag back in the air.
Austin got a good jump there, Phil, but Busher was able to drive back up beside him and looks like around him in turn 1.
Yeah, Austin's going to fight back on the outside. He may have a little momentum from the high side. Busher staying right there is going to side draft off him just a little bit.
Go to Armstrong in the 98, all over the back bumper of that 3. Now he moves up the racetrack. Still a race for the lead. Here comes Dillon to the inside once again. Busher out in front, side by side for 3rd.
Tell you that 98 truck of Dakota Armstrong has done a nice job this race. A little pit strategy got him up front, but he stayed there once he got there.
Look at him strong around the high side of the racetrack, too. He doesn't give up when he gets up there. Keeps the hammer down and making some good time.
So the 31 of James Busher now out front and leading laps. Hermie?
And Rick, he was challenged to lead that lap by his crew chief. These guys stayed on the racetrack and they reminded him with this restart, hey, you need to step up right here and lead us a lap. We need that bonus point for this championship. They challenged him and James Busher got the job done and got him some bonus points.
That's your battle for the championship lead right there.
running 1 and 2. Buscher actually has taken the top spot away from Austin Dillon.
How big of a lead does he have, Rick?
Oh, about 2 points.
And if this flip-flops right now, that wouldn't be 1 point. Look at all this side-by-side racing. Jason White on the inside of Blake Feast. Look at Brendan go to the outside of Clay Rogers in that South Point Toyota.
Todd Bodine just split the 32 and 23
What
to
about
get in front of him.
Brendan Gaughan? They put 4 tires on him, so I know it's loose. You're going to have to go back out there, though, Brendan.
Battle for the lead. Dillon to the inside. Buscher on the outside. A great run for Austin Dillon as they go into 3.
He's able to clear James Buscher this time. He's got that lead back. Buscher's fighting back on the outside.
Buscher.
I don't think he's going to get there.
Austin Dillon back out in front of the field. Dillon has led 5 laps now of this race. The most laps led, Nelson Piquet Jr. at 35 laps led. Hornaday's led 18. Timothy Peters was out front for 13.
How about Dakota Armstrong? We talked about just a moment ago what a good race for him. Going after his teammate Johnny Sauter for the 3rd spot.
I don't think there's any team orders there. Johnny Sauter running for a championship, but Dakota Armstrong going by.
That tells you about these tires. He hasn't pitted in 20, 30 some laps, but yet he's able to drive around Johnny Sauter. He's right on pace with the leaders too. I'm impressed, Phil.
Doing a nice job. You know, he's got a little experience at this racetrack. He's run a couple of ARCA races here. As Johnny Sauter gets loose, has to chase it up the hill. Brian Eichler has to move up to give him some room.
Eichler on the outside, that number 18, driver for Kyle Busch Motorsports. Here comes Hornaday right through the middle. That 13 and 18. So Hornaday able to get by Johnny Sauter.
Hornaday couldn't wait for that hole to open up so he could take her 3 wide. He drove right between those two, trying to swipe that spot from Brian Eichler as they dive into turn 1.
Eichler's going to try to hang in there on the outside. Ron Hornaday.
Ron's got that pass completed.
Johnny Sauter has a battle now with a 17 truck of Timothy Peters. There's Ty Dillon getting by Johnny Sauter.
Ty Dillon in the Realtree 21. Ty, younger brother to Austin Dillon. 2 brothers running in their first NASCAR race together.
The last time they were here together in Kentucky, they wound up getting in a fight.
In the fight, and Mom Tina had to separate them, and they didn't talk to each other all the way home.
Austin Dillon out in front of the field, right?
Yeah, and he just came on the radio and said my water temperature is climbing rapidly. Guys, get the binoculars out and take a look at the grill here. See if we've got something on the front of this thing. He said water temperature climbing in a hurry. They may have to pit.
Wow, I don't see it either, Ray. We can't see anything from the shot we've got of Austin. Looks clean, Bill.
Radiator fan on. Radiator fan off. You don't want the fan on.
And he's running out front, so obviously if he's got some issues with cooling, we don't see any paper or any trash on the grill, no traffic ahead of him, that could be bad. That could be issues with the engine.
Yeah, it looks pretty clean to me. It would be pretty obvious if there was a tissue or something, maybe a tear off, windshield tear off on the front. Doesn't look like that.
So they're talking about temperature problems for the 3 of Austin Dillon. Dillon out in front by 2.5 seconds. There's a battle for 3rd. Hornaday taking the spot away from Dakota Armstrong.
Right behind this battle right here, Ty Dillon has taken another spot. He's moved up to the 5th spot. Got by Brian Eichler. Ty Dillon is getting racy here.
It was fun to watch him just get his feet under him early on. They got in a little track position. He got a taste of what it was like to be up front. You don't want to go anywhere else.
Remember, he was just, wanting to make sure he finished all the laps.
I told you that wasn't true.
He's in the top 5 now. Austin Dillon leading the race. Ty Dillon running 5th.